This meeting is now being recorded.
Hi there. My name is Pepper, and I'm going to be the one conducting the webinar today. And today's webinar is going to be over property tools. So I wanted to go over property tools because a lot of times when I'm going over different features, one of the things I often don't have time for is to get into like the little things inside the toolboxes or just, little settings that you can kind of tweak with. So I wanted to kind of just take today's webinar as an opportunity to be able to go over some of those little tiny things that you can do and explain some of the options that you have. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get going. So first of all, so here is your property button, and we're just going to take a look at some of these thumbnails. And one of the first, this one right here lets you know what is the status of it. Right now we're inactive. Now I think I bought this one already. I just think I have to go through the edit and I have to, just make it active again. The other thing that you can do is you can go through the process of buying it. Now occasionally if you have a property that's been on there for close to a year, over a year, it'll get this little warning in this little box right here about it becoming expired. If you don't want to see that and you don't want to worry about it, all you have to do is you just have to rebuy it. It's often 2 clicks. You just will click the buy button, it'll say reactivate for another year, and then you just hit next and it'll go ahead and it'll give you another year for this property to be active. Now my suggestion on that, especially if you've got an older property, sometimes a little new life is better than recreating an older life. So sometimes it's kind of good for you to delete the website and to go ahead and redo the whole website from scratch, and it'll actually cause you to get a little bit more activity than something that's been sitting around a little bit longer. Again, that's just a suggestion. If you want to do very little, you can go ahead and just rebuy it. Okay, so we've got the view, which is how you view your website. And then you've got your edit, which I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click on that. We're going to go over a couple little areas in the edit button. Okay, so the type of listing is it's a residential. If you have commercial properties, you could choose that. Right now I have it as inactive because I just do these. You could put it as inactive if you have it under contract or something like that, to where you maybe, are going to kind of pause it for a second until you know for sure what's going to happen. Now remember, if you have it on automatic, it'll actually, as soon as it's sold, it'll change that status for you. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to active for right now. Property type, we've got different options. It'll default to single family home, which is your normal situation. If you have a condo, townhouse, or duplex, you want to pick this option number 3. I often see the vacant land. So if you have a vacant land, you want to do 5. Rentals, you want to do number 8. It's really important that you select the correct property type, because otherwise you could be trying to market to the wrong type of people. Somebody's looking for a rental and you have it as a single family home for sale, you might not get that traffic that you need. So it's really important that you put it under the right property type. So if you want to not have a price, maybe you're under negotiation on price or whatever, what you can do, and actually, this is new, they just put this in here. So if you see here on the little notes, it says you could put $1 and it'll say call for pricing. And then 2, see floor plans for price. And then if you want it blank, you just do 3. 4, note for sale. 5, call for availability. So I always just do the $1 one. But anyway, they do have some new options. That's wonderful. So anyway, so what you could do is if you want this to just be something that you don't want to have a price in there for right now, you could just put $1. Okay? And before I show you what that looks like, the other thing I suggest in the community, I would put the subdivision. So I have no idea what the subdivision is on this one. Let's just say that this was Arrowhead Lake, or Arrowhead Ranch. So then I'm going to hit save. Now take a look, if we take a view at this now, because I put that $1 in. Okay, and up here, instead of having the price, it actually has call for price. So again, maybe you're in transition on price. You could put that $1 for that reason. So it's just an option that I think that you should know about, and I don't often have enough time to go over that. So let's go, we're back to edit. Anything else on this page? I don't think so. I think we're good. Okay, now here's another suggestion. If you like the mortgage flyer that has the breakdown, what I would do is I would actually try to make sure that you get the HOA, the monthly taxes, and the insurance filled in here. So what you would do is you can find it either if you have the information, because it's your listing, you can find it there. But you can also find it on the MLS. At the very bottom, it breaks it up by monthly. So let's just say this is $35. Now the taxes it does by year on the MLS, so I just take those yearly taxes and I divide by 12. Let's say that was $90. Now insurance I've seen estimated $40, $50, $60. It's up to you, you know, what you want to do. So if we do that, we're going to save that. Now if you take a look, I'm going to go under, actually I could just do it under here if I wanted to. So print brochure, okay? So payment flyer. As it's loading, taking its sweet little time. Okay, I'm really just not that patient. Okay, let's try doing it the other way. Let's go through the tools. Okay. I don't know if agent marketing is just thinking a lot or if it's my computer. I'm not sure, but either way, it's giving me a little bit of issue here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and come back to that. I don't want to waste a lot of time, so I'll come back to show you how that looks on the payment flyer. Maybe it'll wake up by then, okay? So let's go back to edit. Okay, the other thing I want to show you is a school link. Now, on the school link, if you take a look, oh God, I got to go back to that thing again. Hopefully it's going to work for me. Okay, let's try this again. If you have nothing filled in,
are you looking for a home with built-in equity that needs a little work?
If you take a little area info, all these are a little bit different. This is just one of the layouts. Area schools. Okay, so if you have it put with just the generic, what they already give you, this is what they're going to see. I don't know about you, but to me, I would just not even bother. I mean, you can say, oh, well, maybe I just want to look at high schools. And I deselect those. Well, it's still pretty cluttered, right? So I don't know that that's going to help me a lot. But let's say that instead I wanted to oh, how funny, I went to Bing. Okay, so instead what I wanted to do is I wanted to look up just the school district my kids go to. Okay, and say I wanted to go to, my kids go to Oasis. So let me find Oasis. Okay, so say this is the website that I wanted to put in there. Then what I would do is I would go in here, I'd go back under edit, I just copied that, and I would go under here and I would put paste, and I would save that, and now let's go take a re-look at that and let's see what that looks like now.
Are you looking for a home with...
Okay, so area info, area schools, Okay, and here you go. So this is going to actually give you the school that's in that area. This is really great, especially if it's a great school. If this is a great school. So if that's the case, then that's a really easy way to narrow it down. The only issue that you have sometimes with that is that you can only pick one. You can only pick the high school or the elementary or the middle school. You can't pick all of them. Or maybe you want to go to the private school in the area. You have to pick one. That's kind of the problem with that I don't really like, but it looks a lot better. The other thing that you can edit, and I've done this when I have extra time, is you can actually, if this is like in a Arrowhead Ranch, right? You can actually go to their website, copy that link, and put that in here, and then that will also go underneath that little tab. The one thing that I suggest being really careful about is that you make sure that it's not another realtor's website. A lot of times you'll get a lot of traffic that they'll build for themselves through this website that it acts like it's for that particular subdivision, but it's not. So you just kind of got to be careful about that. Now, virtual tour, if you have a virtual tour separate and you want to have it on the website, all you have to do is copy the web address and put it in here. You can do that with YouTube. If you've got one on YouTube, you can just copy it and put it in here. Okay? So that's kind of give you some ideas on what you can do in that area. This one here, I always suggest putting in a couple features. It just gives you nice little bullets, which is nice. I also suggest on this area on the description, for compliance reasons, a lot of times there's stuff in there that doesn't have who you're working with or what company you're working for, so it's really important to have that for compliance for some companies. I think it's actually in Arizona. Somebody told me it's actually an Arizona compliance issue, but I've talked to agent marketing about updating this, and they haven't listened to me yet. So I'm just going to give you my advice, and this is what I have to do for realtors that I help out. You just will put your name. You can just put listing by Pepper Stewart at real estate company. Okay? And anything that this information goes on, this description will have your information in it, so that's really nice, okay? So, and then now you're compliant with a lot of it. Yes, some of them require a phone number, they require other things, so you can put it into this box and that will help you keep compliant with your company, okay? So you can change out your layouts if you decide that you don't like that one. Maybe we decide we want to go out with layout 4 instead. That's my favorite. Okay, so I wouldn't suggest, don't mess around with this one. I think it's okay to mess around with this one, but don't do anything with that. That will cause lots of issues. Okay, miscellaneous notes. Now, I have not had anybody yet decide to do this, where you can actually give the homeowner some play with the website. My suggestion is a really good area to have this. You know, if you can get over somebody that's a for sale by owner, they often want to feel like they've got some control in the situation, and you can give them a little bit of control by putting their email and giving them a login password. It doesn't give them total access. It will allow them to maybe update a few pictures. It'll allow them to do some things to where they feel like they are engaging in it. And for sale by owners often are looking for a little bit of control. So this would be a great tool for you to use for that purpose. Okay, so you would just give them you just put their email in there, give them a password, and then they'll be able to log in and put in their password, and they'll be able to do the whole thing on their own. Again, limited control. Okay, so that's going to be it with edit. Now pictures, let's take a look at pictures. Now one of the things, if you have this on the automated system, you can, it'll automatically update price for you. It takes 24 to 48 hours. I've seen it even a little bit longer than that. It will update, your status, if it's been sold or not, but one of the things that will not update is it will not update your photos. So say that you had a photographer come out, take some new fresh photos. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to come in here. You're going to decide, do I want to keep these? Do I want to dump them? What do I want to do? So let's just say that we decided that we wanted to delete all the images. This also happens, we had one agent ask last week, you know, what if I built a website and I didn't have any photos? Well, you can actually, at this point, it would just be like this. This is what you would see if you hit that media. So now what you want to do is you want to upload photos, okay? You only get one shot at uploading it through the MLS, and that's when you build the website. So I'm going to hit run. Now you might get some pop-up blockers, so you might have to mess around with that or update, you know, so there are some things. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm just going to pick some pictures. Okay, and you would just find the folder that has the pictures that you want. You could select them all, whatever. See, I have house examples here. I could select this little button and it would choose all of them, or I could just select the ones that I want. As soon as I find what I want, I'm going to hit the upload button. Okay, so it's upload. And then you can do just like you did before. You can actually drag these around in any order that you want. Okay, so you can add captions, do any of that. Okay, so that is if you need new pictures, you want to get rid of some pictures, you don't have pictures in there, now you're ready to add them, here's where you go. Virtual tour. This right here is a virtual tour. If you don't like the virtual tour that they have, you can actually customize it. What you could do is you can add the tour. So say that I want it like this. So I add the tour. Now you've got all these options. Do you want it to zoom in, zoom out, pan left, right, tilt up, tilt down? You have all kinds of different options. So this one, because it's kind of centered, I'm going to go ahead and pan right on this one. Okay, and we can just go through and add all the pictures if we want to one by one, okay, or we could just pick the pictures that we really, really like. And you can add a caption in here too if you want to. So like this one here, maybe I'm going to tilt up. Okay? Now when you do this, the virtual tour that you're sent initially will no longer be active. It'll default to this virtual tour. So just realize that when it happens that you're taking over and you're taking that control. So the only way for you not to do this is delete the property, upload a new website, and then start over, and then, you know, keep the one that they have. Okay, so I'm not going to go crazy on that, so that's what you do for that. Panner pictures, you can do the same thing here. If you want to do video and flash, it's super easy to do that. All you have to do is right here, it says, okay, so right here there's going to be a little button that says authorize. Now I've already authorized mine, so I don't have to do it again. But if you hit that authorize button, it'll actually find your YouTube account that's on that computer. It helps a lot of times if you already have it pulled up, it'll just recognize it a little bit faster. So what you could do is you would just hit authorize. You make sure that if you have multiple email accounts, then you'll need to pick the right one. And then every single time from that point on that you add a picture, you add a website, you put a website together, it'll automatically generate a video for you. You won't even have to do anything. So once you authorize it to do that, you don't ever have to do it again. It just automatically will create a YouTube video for you. Okay? So that's kind of a nice little feature. Okay, so we're done with that. So now let's go over to percentages. Now percentages are basically their suggestions on how to strengthen your website. Now, some of these I use, some of these I don't use. Okay? Sometimes you don't have any control if the pictures are HD or not. Okay? Okay, documents. If you have floor plans, I used to have an agent that used floor plans all the time. So I would actually upload them here, so they would actually be on the website. So if you want to do that, if you have a panoramic tour, you can upload it here. Okay, this, even if you have a YouTube video, it doesn't actually change it. It stays red all the time, so don't worry about that. Okay, music. I do want to go over this. Now, you don't like the music. I had one agent that said that the client she worked for was very upset with the music, felt like it was funeral music, so we had to change her music. So what we did is we went in here, and you can, I like the instrumental. To me, that's a pretty neutral way to go. And you can just kind of pay attention to what do you like? And you kind of go along with your personality too. Okay, so that's a pretty neutral one, so I might go with that one. Okay? If you want to customize your YouTube, you can do the same thing here. Okay, so you can, but they have less options, but you can still decide which one of these do I like better. Okay, so we're going to say we like that one. So now we're going to hit save. Okay, and when they do the virtual tour and things like that, oh, one thing actually I wanted to show you too that you can do on that. Okay, so on music, if you don't want it on the website, you can just put it on the virtual tour. If you don't want music on either one of them, you can actually select this. So you've got some options here on what you want. So say I just want it on the tour. There we go. Okay? This is our toolbox, which you'll see a lot of similarity in the percentage to the toolbox. There's a lot of the same stuff. Okay, so if you want to do a banner, now because this is an HD, I have more options. If you don't have HD, you don't have this whole box over on the right-hand side. Now what you could do, like let's say this was just listed. Okay, you just put it in, you hit go. Now take a look, that's not centered. Here's what you have to do. I hit space, I hit go, still not enough. There we go, that looks good to me. And if you have HD pictures, you can actually decide which side you want it to be on. I've used that one a lot. And you can choose it on the left if you want to. Okay, so then whatever you decide to do, then you just hit save. Okay, so that's our banner. Okay, so let's go over to looking at more stuff on here. Okay, spokesperson, you could just choose a spokesperson. So you saw the one that kept popping out that I kept pausing. So Craigslist ad, this is a quick place for you to go to post your Craigslist ad. Property features, basically this one here is looking for bullets. So that's where this will be red until you have some bullets. You can go here if you have some open house dates. The rest of these I don't really use, okay? So it's up to you on what you want to do, but it just kind of is a quick place. I use this as kind of like just to make sure I'm not missing anything. I'll come back in here and I'll be like, I'm good, you know, and when I'm done with it, just to make sure that I've hit all the marks that I want to hit. Okay, so that is percentage. Report basically tells you everything that you have done on here. You can actually put things in here like I met with client to go over website. Okay, and you could actually just save that. Okay, and it'll come down here as a new one. Okay, and you can send this to yourself. So this basically is just like a little place for you to kind of keep track of all the little things that you've done. Okay, so feedback is, we're going to come back to that. We're not going to worry about that one for right now. Okay, Hits is a place that you can go that will actually just let you know who's been on your website and what they have been looking at. It must be agent marketing, okay. So obviously, I just put this website here today, so I'm the only one that's visited it. It also will give you different options depending on how much traffic you have in here. You can see how, for the last 30 days, how much activity, what are they looking at, how many visitors, that type of a thing. Okay? So now let's go ahead, let's go over to tools. Now tools and percentage, like I said, are very related. So you've got your open house dates if you want to do if you've got open house, and that will actually build a new tab in there for your open house. You can do quick back page poster, that's just an online ad. Banners, we did that one. Spokesperson, if you want to co-list, you can do that. Now I'll tell you, I think it's only flyer 1. It's either flyer 1 or flyer 2 is the only one that will allow you to for the co-lister to be seen. So what you would do is you would have their picture, you would just upload their picture. Let's see here. I forgot what I have in all of these. Here we go. Here's my lady that I'm co-listing with. Okay. Oops. To do that. Okay. So then I got to do my logo. And then you can put their information in. And you can put as much or little as you want to in here. So, okay. You could put a phone number in here for them if they have, if you want their phone number to be in here. Okay. And then what you would do is you would just save that information. And now, I don't know if the flyers are going to be cooperating with me now, but we're going to check it out and we're going to see. Hopefully they are. Now, I think, oh, you know why that's not cooperating? It's because I have call for price. That's why that's not cooperating. That just occurred to me. That's where my problem is. So I need to go back to edit. Now I understand why it was giving me an issue. Hopefully I don't have too many zeros in there. Okay, now I get it. Okay, so let's go back. So remember that payment flyer that we were wanting to look at? Remember where we had the HOA, the property tax, all of that? It's all right in here. And it's built into the total monthly cost that way. And it's done under all of these. Okay? So now I think it's flyer 1. This is going to be the only one that will actually show that co-listing agent. Okay? So you're kind of limited, but at least it gives you an option to do that. Okay? So let's see here. So co-listing, Google Analytics, I tried working with that a little bit. It's for people that are very wanting to track everything. You got to set up a separate Google account. I'm not going to go over it. It's a very detailed, I could spend quite a bit of time just on that, so I don't want to really mess around with that. Okay, property options. On feedback, if you want to get feedback on your listing, you can actually customize these questions if you want to. Just realize that when you do that, they need to be people need to be able to answer them either from agree to disagree. So whatever you're going to put in here, you have to make sure that it's not like a yes or no or a blue is my favorite color. It needs to be so that they can answer from agree to disagree. Okay? So just make sure that when you do that, you're keeping that in mind. You can also, if you want a greeting to be different than the one that they have, you can actually create your own. So say feedback greeting, you're going to put, okay, now if you want to keep this generic, what you can do is you can actually just do this pound, and then we put address. And depending on where you get the, which feedback property, it'll automatically put that address in there for you. Okay, so this right here, and once you save it, and you hit that you want to send feedback, you want to get feedback, it'll actually, at the very top, this is the greeting that it's going to have at the top, okay? So you can customize that as well. Okay, so let me see if there's anything over here. You can turn some things off, but I don't know why you would, but it's just an option. Okay, so let's see here. Text codes, if you have a sign writer, you can go ahead and put the sign writer text code in here and then just hit save. I like to put words in here instead of numbers because when you have text, this 9-digit number to this 5-digit number, it can be a little confusing. So like this one here, I put the name of the street, which is often what I try to use, and then you hit save. And if it says success, then you're good. If it says not, then you got to maybe add road or whatever. If it doesn't fit into this box, don't worry about it. That's just for the sign writers. So don't worry about it if it looks like it's running off the edge there. Okay? So let's take a look. If you want to change the pictures order, you can do that, which you could just do that through your pictures. So we already went through music. Let's see here. This is a property e-card. They suggest that you do this like if you have a new listing. So you could just mail this to yourself and then do an email blast out to everybody, and I think it even says just listed, and you can send that out to everybody. So, and it's a nice looking card. And, oh, this is a new one too. Seller's email, and let's see here. Okay, so it just basically gives all the marketing information and links, so you could do this and email these to yourself. And then just see what they look like. See if you like them. They're super easy to do, and it's really easy to be able to send out that kind of information out to a whole bunch of people. The more people that you contact over a listing makes it, viewable by more potential buyers. So you want to try to get it out there as much as you can, okay? So here you go. I think we went through all of that, or at least all the important stuff. Some of the stuff you would never use, like who's going to change the QR code. Okay, so that is going to be that. On feedback, I showed you how you can customize it. If you want to get feedback on a property, maybe after an open house, what you could do is you just click the date. So let's just say it was last Saturday. You could put the time. You could put, maybe it was an agent that came over, so you could put their information in, the broker information. Remember, you only need to fill in the places that have the orange triangles. Everything else is optional, okay? So this is like if somebody comes midweek. Now, if you have an open house, this is actually to people in general, okay? So maybe you have a whole bunch of people that came by. You could put their information in here and send out an email just to see what they thought of the house, okay? So that is feedback. Okay, so I think the only other thing, okay, this right here is a quick link to your Craigslist poster. So if you want to post on Craigslist, now let me tell you, Craigslist has changed. They are no longer allowing you to, for more information, see this website. They will flag you and they will remove the site. They also have changed it to where they're no longer allowing anything that looks like tracking, so like the text from text here to find out more, whatever that they have on the poster, they're going to red flag you. I called Agent Marketing. I talked to them about this, and they just kind of didn't care. They said that they were fine, and they said if I wanted to remove the pieces that I could. So if you are going to do that, it's really easy to remove the pieces. So you can't do the text, you could do the phone number. That's basically all you can do at this point. Okay, so let's see, log in. Let me show you what this looks like just so that in case you want to do something on Craigslist. So proceed. This will be the description that you have that we added. Remember the listed by Pepper Stewart, a real estate company. That's going to come in, and it's going to give a phone number. The other stuff, they will not allow. They'll flag you. They didn't flag all of mine, so I think a couple snuck through, but most of them got removed from my site. Okay? So I don't know what to do. Craigslist likes to make things difficult. Love them, but they do like to make things difficult. So at this point in time, until they figure out some other way of doing it, you're just going to only be able to leave your phone number. The thing on the left is your cheat sheet. The thing on your right is actually the Craigslist posting. Okay, so you still you select all the things, drag everything over once you get to the empty boxes. I'm not going to go through that because I think I'm already over time. Okay, broadcast my moves. That's just a little email card or whatever. So that's just I'm going over that today, as a matter of fact, on a webinar I'm doing today. So anyways, you can do like a little e-card. Options, this is just a place that you can edit for all of yours. So here's a place for you to edit on feedback questions, your greeting. A lot of these places you'll kind of notice that they are repeats. They're in multiple areas. If you have a disclaimer, you could put it in here that your company requires. I wouldn't mess around with the interest rates. Your loan officer should keep those updated. Okay? So anyway, I think widgets are just something that if you have your website and you would like to have this onto your website, just go to get the code, and then you just copy that and put it inside the HTML code for your personal website. Okay? Or if you want this one, you just say get code, you copy this, you put it into the HTML, and you just insert it. Okay? So they have all kinds of different little widgets that you can use. You can put together a little book. So these are for people that have a separate website, okay, not the My Website. Okay, so anyway, I've gone over all the little tiny bits and pieces, and hopefully I didn't go over too bad. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Thanks.